Surabaya. Hari ini saya datang ke acara BritCham. Ya, itu kalau di Indonesia kadin. Tapi ini kadin Inggris. Kadinnya Inggris, Bapak. Nah, kita ikutin acaranya. Ya, sudah. Saya ketemu Puji. Puji dari mana, Puji?
Saya dari PT Makna Praksis Indonesia. Hari ini ketemu sama Stephanie ya.
Stephanie.
Kita
Stephanie
enjoy
Dewi.
acaranya. Stephanie Dewi. Kita enjoy acaranya. Kita mau cari makan dulu.
Ayo kita makan dulu. Let's go. Punya temen jadinya sekarang saya. Seru kan di sini? Yuk kita lihat-lihat ya. Kita ada tea break ya.
Iya.
Tea breaknya yuk kita lihat tea breaknya. Pak saya mau udah ya? Oh iya.
Ada kopi teh.
Hah?
Kopi teh.
Tea aja.
Saya juga.
Kayaknya ini yang enak nih. Wow, ini Puji. Ini favorite one.
Yes,
Yay.
so yummy.
Yummy. Let's try.
To really progress the empowerment of courses to become a member of.
Of course, Helga has been in the Forbes 30 under 30 list in 2016, and she is also her World Women of the Year in 2017. So, without further ado, Helga, please share your inspiring story with us.
Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you so much, Busoni, for having me. And today I'd like to share a short story about how I found my calling to make the world a better place, one meal at a time. Yeah, so this is a picture of me about 25 years ago. I was a kid who suffered chronic illnesses, which was triggered by more than 20 allergies. So I had severe asthma, sinusitis, and eczema. I was allergic to dairy, hormones in meat and poultry, tomatoes, soy sauce, dust, aircon, and 15 other things that I can't even remember by now. Unfortunately, I only found out about my allergy, all of my allergies, when I became a young adult. So I was suffering from those illnesses, and I remember I had to take antibiotics every day, together with corticosteroid, which is an autoimmune medicine. And I remember I had to use almost every night an oxygen inhaler to help me breathe. Because as you can imagine, Jakarta is not the least polluted city for my condition at the moment. So when I was 15, I became hospitalized after I ate a donut and a glass of Coke, because I lost my consciousness basically. And the doctor at the hospital told me that my kidney was infected and my liver was inflamed, which was very abnormal for someone who is in junior high school. So at that moment, I was shocked, and I felt that medicine failed me because I've been consuming so much to heal myself. I remember I consumed a lot more in comparison to my friends, and they seemed a lot healthier than me. So I was looking for another approach to heal myself because I knew it wasn't working. So when I was 15, after I got that hospitalized, I found these two life-changing books. Maybe a few of you have seen this it's been printed like years back. Food Combining and a Miracle Enzyme. Basically, these these books tell me that our body has the ability to heal itself. If we put in the right nutrition and we create an environment within the body for the body to heal itself, and in order to do so, we need to make our body to have a balanced age. And both books recommended for us to eat minimum 85% of whole food plant-based. And my typical diet back then was very much similar to kids at my time. We were big on instant noodles, chicken nugget with rice, mie ayam, bakso, ice cream, cakes, milk, lots of it. And I didn't make the connection until I read this book. And so I was really getting into it. And Dr. Hiromi here is a very inspiring person to me. He's a gastroenterologist who's seen hundreds of people's colognes, and he found that the longest living people on earth have very clean colon. And their typical diet is mostly vegetables, fruits, sweet potatoes, rice, and beans. Whereas people who have chronic illnesses, cancer, autoimmune, diabetes, heart issues, they all have very dirty colon, and their typical diet is very rich in meat, dairy, and processed food. So I gave it a try. I became a vegetarian. I tried whole food plant-based diet for 2 years, and I actually healed my asthma and sinusitis completely, and my eczema became a lot milder, and I'm really sick. Even though I'm sick, I recover a lot faster than most people I know without medication. So I think that was the turning point where I became really passionate about healthy plant-based food. Fast forward to 2012, I was in the Netherlands. I did my college year. It was a really fun time. I did really well in both my study and my part-time job in a digital marketing agency. I got a 9 for my thesis. I graduated with a summa cum laude. And on that day, after my thesis presentation, I got a job offer from my boss. But on that day, when I went home, I actually cried. And it was really weird feeling because I worked really hard to get a 9 and to get a job offer at that time. I skipped a lot of parties and gatherings with my friends, only to find out that when I achieved those goals, I actually felt that didn't make me happy. Like, I felt there was something missing. It didn't give me like a sense of meaning. So I was really doing a lot of deep thinking, and I have a boyfriend back then, who is now my husband. He was still thinking to quit his job because he was finance graduate, but he hated finance. He worked as a data analyst, but he really loves cooking and people. So we were thinking on how can we create something that is aligned with our passion, skills, and values, and at the same time can be meaningful for us. So a way for us to contribute to the society and environment. So when we were chilling in a park one day, we came up with a very brief idea. The idea was very simple: to make a healthy plant-based eatery, which serves healthy food that is tasty and fun-looking, so people can actually enjoy eating healthy. We took a step further because we wanted the business to become the extension of our core values and vision of life. And what we found out through many deep thinkings was that for us it's very important, if we talk about healthy food should be healthy for the consumers, for the growers that is involved in the supply chain, and also for the environment. So we tried to redesign a business model of a restaurant to make sure we can maximize the positive impact through our operations. So from the sourcing side, we source most of our ingredients directly from local farmers at fair trade prices, mostly organic, mostly local. In the production kitchen, we created recipes in a way that make it produce as minimum waste as possible, and we empower underprivileged women in the central kitchen. And we know this is a very niche product, especially 5 years ago when we started. So we had to educate the market about why they should choose pages over Wagyu, which was very hard. So we created two education programs. It's called Birthdays Goes to School and Birthdays Goes to Office, where we promote healthy and sustainable eating using mostly local ingredients. And on the operations side, we actually created a gender balance policy to make sure that in all levels, from top management to the floor staff, we have 50%, a minimum 50% of women in the team. And to minimize the negative environmental impact that happens because of restaurant operations, we use as much as possible reusable and eco-friendly packaging, and we actually manage our central kitchen waste to make sure we produce. Our goal next year is actually to be the first zero waste landfill restaurant. With such a big dream and very limited capital in December 2013, we opened our first outlet in Papua. Many of you, I'm sure, do not know where Papua is. It was a very beautiful space, Google-like, but it's located in the middle of nowhere. So for us, on the weekends, we have some busy days. We cater up to, when I said busy, back then it was like up to 50 to 70 people. And on the weekday, it can become very slow. So we cater around 10 to 30 people every day. And this is only an 8-seating indoor area with no aircon. It's mostly outdoor, so when there were rainy seasons, we actually had some days where we had practically no one coming to the restaurant. But we kept going at that time. And 5 years later, I think my learning was that I'm really grateful I didn't give up. My partner didn't give up, the team didn't give up, because by keeping going through those years, now we have 8 outlets, serving more than 600 customers a day. We started with working with only 12 farmers, but now we are privileged to work with more than 400 farmers, tens of artisans, and educated more than 9,000 school kids and adults through our education programs. And looking back about how I felt upon graduation and how I feel today, I feel like today I wake up, nowadays I wake up every day feeling very happy and content because I know my work has a sense of meaning and serves my purpose. So I hope with my presentation, it lights up the fire within you to look inside, to find what is it that truly moves you, find your purpose, find your why you do stuff, what makes it exciting for you to go to work every day, and to have the courage to redesign a business model, a way to live, a way to work that can actually bring positive impact to those around you through what you do. I would like to close this presentation combining 2 quotes that I really like. Great change never came out from your comfort zone, and I took the path less traveled, and that has made all the difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Helga. That was really inspiring. Deborah does, I'm doing too. And I thought, oh my God, but Deborah is only, how old are you? 28? 25? 35, okay. Sorry, I'm telling your age to everyone. But I was totally impressed because I felt like I met a younger version of me. And now while she's setting up, you can put your products, let me tell you what she does. Deborah founded, what do you call, Herbilogi, because she felt that people in Indonesia are not honoring jamu and all the herbs that are actually available here. She realized that all these things are associated with old fashion, and she wanted to educate the millennials and the younger generation so that they would use these products. And Deborah is originally a nanobiotech researcher, and she was an assistant to one of the professors of U of M, Ann Arbor. Then she joined Unilever, and then she jumped to marketing for Lux, Dove, and Pond's. Now she's running 3 businesses. The first is Mashiro. As you can see, her white shirt. Mashiro is essential white shirts to make women make one less choice every day. Very good thinking. Herbilogi is all natural plant-based wellness products, which she's going to tell us about. And then the third business is the bulk store and company. It's healthy and sustainable, less packaging grocer, and she's doing that together with Helga. Later on, we'll ask them both to talk about that business when we're on the panel. All right, Helga? Deborah, over to you. So many beautiful ladies. Thank you for the introduction, Busani, and thank you for having me on stage today. So again, I'm Deborah. I'm the founder of Herbiology, and today I'm going to share why and how I started Herbiology and how it has come to provide thousands of women in Indonesia natural supplements in the market. So as a trained chemical engineer and a non-biotech researcher from University of Michigan Ann Arbor, I've always been fascinated with science and the consumption of products for human beings. This led me to my first career in an R&D division in Unilever, and then later I moved to the marketing. Upon my first career in Unilever, I too started my own journey as a mom. So I got married and then and settled, and my journey as a mom began. So before I continue my presentations, I would like to ask, who are here are moms? Can you raise your hands if you are moms? Grandma. I mean, alright, so it started when I was pregnant with Philip. Luckily, I had a very smooth pregnancy. But then I found that many friends had a very rough pregnancy, such as bad nausea, skin changes like discoloration, itchy, stretch marks, up to extreme fatigue, like they had to bed rest the whole pregnancy. So during my pregnancy too, because my background was a researcher, so I do a lot of research. So I did my research, and but back then I changed my diet because into more natural, holistic, and of course plant-based. At that time also I was exposed to a lot of superfoods such as like chia, goji berry, acai, etc. But then it came after delivering the baby, of course, the next is breastfeeding. For me, breastfeeding was so much tougher than giving birth itself because I was clueless. I think all new moms do. I was clueless with the new baby, of course with the new life rhythm. I had sore and cracked nipples, baby blues, and I got so exhausted. And it led me to super almost non-existent breast milk supply. Again, because I do a lot of research, then I found out that maybe I have to boost my breast milk with nutrition. So I found out what food, what nutrition, and what superfood can help me increase my breast milk supply. And of course, in Indonesia, we know that daun katuk. Who are familiar with daun katuk? Yeah. So daun katuk in Indonesia is very commonly known and used widely as a breast milk booster. But I live in Jakarta, so it was so hard for me to find katuk in the market. But thank you, Sayur Box, now you have katuk in a fresh form. But back then, it was so hard for me to find katuk. And if I had katuk, then I got tired and bored because I have to, stir fry just the veggie and etc. So I found out that I thought to myself,
what if I make this katuk in a readily extract powder form or in the tea form that can be consumed nicely and deliciously by all the ladies out there? So that's just my thought. But then after I did a lot of my research, I also found out that actually plants have active ingredients with medicinal properties, health benefits, such as curcumin. Maybe a lot of you know about curcumin, gingerol, which is in the red ginger, diosgenin, which is in fenugreek, and etc. And in fact, 25% of modern medicines, including aspirin, actually derive from the plant's active ingredients. And we are so blessed. I'm so blessed. I live in Indonesia. Indonesia is the second largest biodiversity in the world. We have 30,000 species of plants, and 10% of it have been found. And only 1,500 species are medicinal plants, and the rest are still yet unexplored. Indonesia is a wildlife laboratory. And then, you know, this research just opened my eyes. Oh my gosh, we're in Indonesia. Why Indonesian people use superfoods from outside of Indonesia, while we are blessed with so many plants here? So we have to find how to make it in a readily form so people can consume it effortlessly. Next. Continuing my story as a mom. Who are full-time moms? Raise your hand if you are full-time moms. Full-time moms? Okay. Who are moms again? Me. Who are full-time moms? Actually, we are full-time moms, right? We are 24/7 our moms, and the rest is our part-time job actually. So, yeah, being a mom. So, continue my story as a mom. After my breastfeeding, Philip had to eat, of course. But Philip, being Philip, he was a super picky eater. He didn't want to eat. So I had to make sure after I came home from work, very tired, but I still have to make his food. So I had to make sure that he gets all the nutrition he gets. And not just Philip, but also for myself. I came home tired, but I have to perform my duties as moms, but I also have my business to run. So I figured out that, oh my gosh, the struggle is real. We are as moms, we have to do so many things. So this is just illustration. When we are sick, of course, so many people depend on us, including, I don't know about you, but in my house, like my husband, my kids, they depend on me. So I thought to myself, I cannot afford even to get sick, because if I get sick, anyway, I will have to do all the tasks again when I'm getting better. So that's why I thought to myself again, there are so many moms out there who are like me. We have to juggle with so many things, and we cannot afford to get sick. And that's why, again, with the plant-based, I thought, okay, we have to make it ready in the plant extracts form, so people can consume it. Next. Okay. So yeah, it's really the journey of a mom that inspires me to create Herbology. So Herbology is created to be the women's companion throughout their life journey. So, so they can be very active in managing their own person, and they can also have their own personal goal. Nice. Of course, while doing Herbology, this is like one complete circle. This is our mission. well, I'm doing herbology because, like Ibu Sony said, jamu, Indonesia is trapped in jamu concept. So it's very hard for me to convince the millennial moms, especially, to consume herbology. So that's why we came up with a very modern design and modern concept as well. And we had to educate a lot of young moms out there about and combine with education about holistic lifestyle, as simple as healthy recipes for the kids, healthy recipes and easy for the moms and the family, and of course simple tips. And so we provide products for healthy moms, and then of course while we provide the products, we also utilize and promote our Indonesian plants, and while we are doing so, we support local farmers and communities, because I realized that when we work together and work hand in hand, then amazing things happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Our next speaker, I think everybody knows. Who here doesn't know Bo restaurant? Yes, okay. I first met Talita at a meditation space. It's called the Golden Space. And again, it was Mariko who introduced me to Talita. And then I found at America that they had a special event where Talita was the speaker. So I went there, and of course I was the only Ibu there. There was all university students and one me, I think, at my age group. But I went only to hear her, and I was so impressed with the way she spoke and the way she held the university students' attention, and also what she shared. She's someone who cares passionately about bringing Indonesia international. So she's, of course, doing things in the domestic market, but she wants to educate people so that they would be proud to be Indonesian and known in the international market. And she mentioned that she wants Bo to be known like all the other brands, like Paul, and I thought, wow, what a dreamer and what a vision. And as soon as it ended, I went up to her and I told her, I am the chairwoman of this group, I'll make sure to invite you. And today it has come true. So I'm really grateful for that. And let me introduce Talita. She's dubbed Indonesia's Queen of Pastry. And she's the founder and CEO of Bo Bakery. In 2015, she set up Bo Bakery, and she wants to make it the go-to brand for authentic bakery products. The products are eco-friendly and also vegan-friendly, and she also has a people-first philosophy. Besides that, she's been featured in Channel News Asia as the bakery that is the champion for change. And, of course, she's made the Forbes 30 Under 30 list in 2018, and she's also known as the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur. She won the Ernst & Young Entrepreneurial Women Award. So without further ado, I would like to invite Talita to share with us about Bo and her story. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sunny. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a wonderful morning. Thank you, Helga. Thank you, Deborah, for your sharing. I am a fan of both of them, and I totally use both of your products. So thank you so much for being here. So is this the clicker? Nice. So my name is Talita. Hello. Aku tukang roti, or a baker. I'm just a baker. So basically, when I was listening to Helga, I've been talking with her, actually, a lot of events here together. And there's a lot of similarities between our stories. We're one of those high-achieving A-types that, basically, we have this thing, right? I don't know if you have too, but like, if you want something, you can tunnel vision towards it. Like, just don't give a shit about anything else. We can swear here, right? It's okay. Okay, just checking. Yeah, so basically I was the same, and I started this business actually back in 2015, but it hadn't always been peaches and cream. It was such a tough beginning because what I really wanted to do was overhaul an industry that I thought was wrong. I grew up in New Zealand, in Auckland, and I had been there since 1998 until 2013. So basically, I'm a Kiwi, and there I was really, really impressed, and I was fed on the most amazing food and the most amazing dairies you can imagine. You would go into a department store, you would go into a grocery store, and you'll see like 2 rows of sandwich bread, and you can take your pick. So basically, I had a very, very, very indulgent childhood. And then coming back to Indonesia, back in 2013, after I had gone to Paris to study about bread, I was surprised on how everyone was still eating regular white bread from the supermarket, which had no nutritional value, which tasted like cardboard. I mean, coming back from France, right? And I was really outraged. And my family had wanted me to come back here to join the family business or do something back here. And I was like, well, I can't even live here. What the hell? Like, I can't even find good food. What's happening? And then I remembered this saying just from my childhood, which was from my A-type personality, which was, if they can't do something right, then do it yourself. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna ensure that my life here in Indonesia is delicious, so I'm gonna start my own bakery. And that became boom. But then at the beginning, it was just me and my co-founder, Ian Chin, who is from New York. And we had found that, okay, baking at home is easy, but how do you train a team? Here in Indonesia, we don't have the luxury of such culinary schools such as the Cordon Bleu. I myself was fortunate enough to have gone there, but the cost was 30,000 euro a year. Who has that kind of money, right? And I was so fortunate to have gone there. But then to attain a staff with that kind of education, with that kind of skill level to help you to advance your business, because if you do not have the staff, then how do you expand, right? So then very, very quickly I found out that to have a sustainable culinary business here in Indonesia, you have to invest on education. You have to build in education to your business model. Because if not, there's just not enough talent pool here yet, especially if you're trying to operate in a higher level of products and services, right? And what I saw in the industry in the beginning was there was a lot of poaching here and there. Like one person would be poached from company to company and offered higher and higher pay. And as I was starting a business here in Indonesia, people were like, are you stupid? What are you doing coming back? People here are untrustworthy. I don't know if you guys heard that from family and friends. Well, yeah, like they're saying that people here are untrustworthy, they're just going to take your recipes and go to another company. They are really lazy, they're disloyal. Basically, I was surprised on the negative feedback I was hearing about our own workforce here in Indonesia. And then back then, I was already quite spiritually minded. I hadn't meditated yet, but I was aware of the law of attraction. I don't know if you guys know about the law of attraction. Yeah, and I totally believed that my belief can change the world. Steve Jobs has this thing called the reality distortion field, and I totally believed in that. And that I decided to not believe in any negative things that anyone had to say to me about starting my own business, and I'm just gonna do it anyway. And then I had to believe that when I do start, the right people and the right circumstances will be brought to me by the universe and by God who's bigger than us. So what makes us different is that I really, 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 really love people. People is really my passion. And I learned this. I mean, I didn't actually realize this. At first, I started the bakery out of, my love for food and cakes. But then I had started the brand with my name on it. Actually, it was a bow brand, that's the idea. But then after a while, I realized it wasn't just me. And I had started this bakery out of like a huge ego of wanting to like change the industry. I had an insurgent mindset. I was a rebel. I wanted to do this. But basically, it was very me-centric, right? But then when I realized it was actually about everyone else in the company, and it was about advancing everyone, and it was about empowering them to be conscious leaders themselves, to take initiatives, to be proactive. Because a lot of our workforce here, they are great if they work in a factory. You can tell them to do anything. I mean, learning, they're great, but to think for themselves and to help me to create innovations in my company, that was something that was totally different. So then what we at Bo decided to do was to open all our recipes to everyone that worked for us. And it would be my blessing to them, and I would like them if they could advance, even if they start their own business, even if they move on to another company. I know that I would have equipped them with the right knowledge so that our industry here in Indonesia can expand beyond my company. And that was another thing that I saw a lot of the millennial business owners are actually doing. We do not think only about our company and how to advance ourselves. We do not think a lot about the competition. We always see the big picture, and what does the country need? At this time, the country needs bloody good workers, really, really, really well-trained F&B entrepreneurs, and really well-trained workers to be able to support them. Because how can I achieve like French level standard? How can Indonesia be a global player if we do not have the talent to support us? So then that's Ian Chin. He's pretty much my brother. So we started this together, the two of us. So then it was my love for people that really propelled this business forward. And then in the beginning, actually being the A-type, I didn't really care. I wasn't like Helga when I started the business from an eco-friendly mindset. For me, it was about profit, and then it was about being as big as possible, as quickly as possible. So I really didn't think about using cassava bags. So back then there wasn't any. Actually, that was very. But then I really did care. I used plastic everywhere, and I was like about kind of crunching costs and everything. And I realized after my first 2 outlets, which were failures, which I ended up closing down because they didn't become profitable. We opened in a mall before I was ready for it. Yeah, so then it wasn't until I found meditation, and I really, really expanded my view, even bigger, not just in the country, but also the world. And how I can influence others in my company to also think as the world, as the planet, and have the earth as part of our philosophy in business. Because that is actually how we can raise the awareness of our workforce to start thinking for themselves and to start thinking as a whole company. And I got that from being vegetarian, I got that from being vegan. I made the transition, I think it was 2 years ago, when I found finally my spiritual journey at the Golden Space where I met Sonny as well. Yeah, so basically, I realized that if you want to change the world, we first have to change ourselves, and we can influence others in a better way, and Helga already covered that. And yeah. So for me, the goal is realizing our uniqueness, realizing our strengths, and also using all our strengths and all our uniqueness to not only affect our company, but not only about the country, but it's about the world. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Talita. Thank you so much. Now it's time for us to go. Remember, actually, when we started this talk, I had chosen 3 speakers, and then thanks to Thamrin of BritCham, everyone, she's our manager. She called me up and she said, Ibu, I think you need 1 more speaker. And I was like, are you sure, Thamrin? And she said, yes. So I said, okay, let me Google. So I Googled Amanda Cole Sayur Box. And then as soon as I found Sayur Box and I Googled Amanda, almost everywhere I went, many ladies mentioned Sayur Box to me. So I was like, oh my God, I definitely am not a millennial. It's a good time to learn from the millennials. So then I agreed with Tammy and we contacted Amanda, and she agreed to join us for the panel. And since she's the final panelist, we'll give her 2-3 minutes. Amanda, can you just briefly tell us about Sayur Box? But let me just share with you, Amanda is also in the Forbes 30 Under 30 list. And she's very passionate about farming and agriculture, and she co-founded Sayur Box as as a platform to connect producers and consumers. So before we sit on the panel, 2-3 minutes for Amanda. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hi.
So I'm Amanda from Starbucks. Who hasn't downloaded the Starbucks app here? Okay, everyone get off your phones. Get your phones out, go to the Apple Store or Android Store and download the Starbucks app. I think today's such a good day to start eating healthy, right? Make a change today. So I don't have a proper presentation and a lot of content, but maybe I'll just share with you how I started Sidewalks. So I think Talita here is a tukang roti, so I'm a tukang sayur. I think tukang roti sounds slightly better. So I started off actually farming, and that's when I saw a lot of farmers getting very low prices for their produce. So I think kangkong, which is spinach, they were selling at literally 600 rupiah per kilo. So I just thought, okay. I was planting kale. So I was just planting, and then I decided to sell to restaurants. I just saw the need of restaurants needing produce that was a bit rare, so I started doing that, and then that's when I saw farmers. And that's when actually what really drove me to start was it started from my mom. So my mom told me, Amanda, very underestimated me, told me, Amanda, I don't think you should work so hard. You know, women should take care of children, be the head of household, be with family, not work too hard. And I think what she was saying, I didn't really believe it. So I thought, okay, actually, what can I do to prove her wrong? So I think it was this hunger that drove me, along with a passion for farming, that led me to keep on going and basically do what I do and develop Sidewalks. So how much time do I have? Okay, so I actually learned, I met my friend yesterday who actually taught me something that I kind of stayed with me, and I just want to share this with you guys. Can I just get everyone to stand up? Okay, so this is just a small exercise. I want just spread out a bit and point forward. Everyone point forward. And try and move your hand as far as you can backwards, like that. As far as you can. With keeping your legs straight. So everyone's legs straight like that. Go forward and go as far back as you can. Yeah? Okay. Now close your eyes. Don't need to put your hand back yet. Close your eyes and imagine that you can turn completely 180 degrees, 270 degrees. So really imagine that you can turn around like an owl. So you really turn that arm around. Imagine you can do it. And then open your eyes. Open your eyes. And then try it again, as far as you can. Rotate it really far. Were you guys able to rotate it further once you imagine it? So it just shows how your mind can really play a big role. If you're able to imagine and able to turn 30%, that means imagine what it can also do to all the other aspects of your life. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies, we are ready to be on the panel. Yeah, please. Successful businesses, you can find them online. But we were wanting to focus on the panel for food, for health and wellness.
Doing so, they can also feel what's the difference to the body, and they can, burgers is here to provide great variety of food when people go on days during those days.
Hello, my friend. I will introduce you someone who invite me in British Chambers. Let's see.